Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please now welcome Scott Young, Senior Vice President of Video Sales for Conversant.
Thank you and good morning. So I'm going to walk you through a study that we executed in Q4 that's all about how to engage millennials through digital video. And I'm going to walk you through our unique process where we leverage Conversant's over 300 million audience profiles and map that back to SET's ability to analyze video streams to get a sense and measure digital video viewership. And we think measuring viewership is an important data component in effectively reaching any audience. And I'm going to walk you through that and show you why and how. We chose the millennial demographic for this presentation specifically because they exhibit the most time-shifted viewing behavior. About 61% view video on demand across multiple devices. 72% claim that YouTube is their preferred viewing platform, and that's only followed by Netflix and then cable. We think they're a particularly important demographic because they are going to represent about $1.4 trillion in buying power in 2020. So a little bit about the parameters of the study. In phase one, we took a sample of Conversant's 300 million audience profiles. We took a 10 million sample of specifically the millennial demographic. And then we analyzed their purchase behavior, their network transactions, in addition to their device usage. So we're going to walk you through the results of that. In addition to that, we mapped all that information back to their viewing behavior, back to SET by Conversant's ability to analyze video streams to get a sense for what they're actively engaged with, what's trending among that demographic in video, what they're watching holistically. And we executed that across a sample of 20 million impressions. And what we look to measure is how content is a proxy for audience and how understanding that type of information can help advertisers lift all attitudinal metrics, message recall, audience engagement, and efficient reach. We're also going to talk a little bit about the specific audience segment and their device usage and how to effectively reach them across all screens. So like I said in the first phase of the study, we are going to talk specifically about the individual level attributes of the millennial demographic across our 300 million anonymized profiles. We collected viewer level insights across a sample of 10 million millennial audience profiles. We monitored 3.3 million daily transactions. We looked at their site navigation. We also looked at their publisher activity across mobile, across over 7,000 direct apps. So what we found is that 80% of millennials are smartphone owners. No surprise, they're 2 times as likely to access content via iOS over Android. And they are most active during the week, specifically early evenings. And what we also found is that they access content through an average of just over 3 devices. A little bit about their transaction behavior. They are 7 times more likely to buy tickets online. And they are over 6 times more likely to buy computer software, clothes, make wedding arrangements, and consumer products. And we expect this obviously to grow exponentially through 2020 as they become this tremendous buying power. Regarding their holistic content consumption, we found that they spend most of their time with sports, video games, and news-related clips and content. What we did from this point is, like I said, in phase 2, we really want to look at their viewership and their digital video viewing behavior because that's relatively an unknown in the ecosystem today. So we're going to share that with you. But first, I'll walk you through our process in doing this and how we actually do this. So SET by Conversant's technology analyzes over 60 million videos every month based on trending video volume across the web. We cover about 80% of the web. We look at about 13,000 videos per minute based on trending video volume. So right now, we're analyzing 13,000 videos in this particular minute. Then we layer on computer vision and machine learning, and this is something we've been developing since 2007. We rip videos apart frame by frame, We analyze scenes, we analyze motion, and we analyze faces. And this is on an automated, ongoing basis. And this is specifically the video content. We even built facial detectors for the top 100 athletes and celebrities that all get stored in our database as our automated classification engine stores that information about video content. Then we take all that information and we report that back to the advertiser down to the individual video level, and I'm going to show you a quick demo of this after, where we see performance metrics and verification specs down to the individual video level. So that's how we get a sense for what type of programming a specific demographic is engaging with, because we can see every video, we can see ad performance as it relates to that video. So how's your 15 or 30-second spot performing against this specific video? Rolls up into a contextual analysis and programming analysis across all the videos. Additionally, we leverage predictive viewability filtering. That all gets built into classification. So we're analyzing player size and we're analyzing brand safety in addition to user-initiated versus non-user initiated. And what we found is that we block over 50% of ad calls made to the platform. So as I mentioned, we leverage facial recognition to identify top trends and personas through digital video. And what you're about to see is a highlight clip of what millennials were engaged with in Q4, specifically down to the persona level. So what personas that they displayed most engagement across. You can play that.
I didn't.
Exactly. I want to talk about this movie here.
Okay.
X-Men. Ooh la la. This is crazy time. This is X-Men.
大家好，新年快乐！在 Facebook， 我们会有一个大群。
Will score. Touchdown Giants, 84 yards.
We use scene recognition to analyze trends in events and tentpole events. And these are some of the top events that millennials were engaged with in Q4.
Final 7 seconds. Got to drive it, Brad. You got to drive it. Man, for maybe the win.
It's a much improved version of the original G-Flex we saw last year in a lot of ways. It now has the form factor that reminds me most of the LG G.
Additionally, we look at how linear programming exists digitally. And what I'm about to show you is the top engaging clips and content that millennials were watching in Q4 that mapped back to a linear TV program.
China has exercised sovereignty over Tibet for more than 6 decades. Our correspondent Damien Grammaticus has been to Sichuan province bordering Tibet, where most of the trouble has happened.
You still carting that shit around? You one determined mofo. What the fuck is that? It's a beef on
Pretty blonde woman reading the fake news. Now there's a whole network devoted to that.
Oh, I'll get that for you, buddy.
Additionally, I mentioned that we have brand safety filters to protect brands from running in inappropriate content. And what you're about to see are the videos that millennials were watching that we proactively blocked a brand from actually running it.
Down, it's slowly turning.
For my street niggas. Turn me up.
Punishment went far enough. This was the scene after Seattle police stopped Miguel Oregon for speeding, but it's not what the officer did, it's what he...
So by leveraging data about viewership in Q4 across 20 million impressions to really pinpoint the content that these viewers were actively engaged with, we were able to see a 22% lift in engagement rates. We were able to see a 6% lift in efficient reach, over Nielsen OCR averages, and a 45% lift in reach over ComScore VCE averages. We also saw a lift in attitudinal metrics. We saw a 68% lift over Nielsen averages in message recall. And now I'm going to run through a quick demo to give you a sense of what we're looking at in the platform and how we process this information. As you can see here, this is how we forecast avails against a particular demographic. So we look at their viewing behavior, like I just mentioned, and we're able to build a channel based on those particular trends. Here we can filter out any unwanted impressions, syndicated content, non-viewable content, non-user initiated. We can even filter by length of content, and then down to the actual video level insights. So now this is before we launch a campaign. We can see individual impressions against Jennifer Lawrence, Katy Perry, basketball-related content, or any other trends that we're seeing millennials engage with. We collect all this information down to the individual video level. We can see historical performance. We can see viewability and brand safety specs, and we can see where the ad calls are coming from so we know what to block proactively before we set up a campaign. And then here you can see the reporting dashboard, where here you just see top-level analytics, unique viewers, GRPs, overall engagement rates, then viewability, brand safety specs, and then down to the actual programming mix. So we see arts, entertainment versus hobbies and interest, style, and fashion, but then diving deeper into the performance of the actual persona. So we served 15 or 30-second spot against Katy Perry content, and we saw X amount of lift in engagement. So we could identify trends in content consumption and identify what particular audiences are engaging with at any given moment. And then down to the video level. So now I can see top performing videos. And if I want to take a deeper look here, I can see all the Katy Perry specific content that I'm running in. I can see where it's coming from, just like you saw in the pre-planning phase. I can see total impressions, performance, viewability, and brand safety. And I also have the ability to actually play the video. Here's an example of Jennifer Lawrence content. Here's an example of Orange is the New Black content. And you can pull this based on every video you're running against, or pull out specific types of programming that you just want to see, get a tangible feel for what am I actually running in within this category. And then this is an example of video level reporting, where we can report back all performance attributes related down to the individual video level. Here I just pulled out some Super Bowl content clips that map back to what the millennials were watching in Q4. So you can see brand safety and viewability down to the video level in a tangible way, and you can analyze your entire programming mix. And this is what we also leverage to make video level optimizations to enhance campaign performance and really get an understanding of where we're going to find the highest audience composition. And what we're really excited to analyze next is how digital video viewing behavior maps back to incremental lift, so analyzing what viewers are watching on a Sunday night and then how they engage with digital video throughout the remainder of the week, so we know where to pull the levers in order to ramp up incremental reach or incremental frequency based on their TV schedule. And that should be coming soon. Thank you.